Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion. Results may vary. Sponsored by Future Health.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. As you know, Grainger offers 1 million products backed by the scale to deliver when and where they're needed, so the right tools or supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a huge inheritance. But a phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard for a new one on us. Just trade in any phone from our top brands with select unlimited plans. $829.99 purchase with new smartphone line on select unlimited plans. Minimum $90 per month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Plus $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port-in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.
At Mariner, behind every advisor is access to a team of advisors designed to provide solutions for complex wealth challenges. So advisors have a go-to person for tax support, another person whose whole world is insurance, and someone else focused entirely on estate planning. All from Mariner, and all working together so advisors have access to everything they need to be everything their clients need. Learn more about partnering with us at joinmariner.com. Wealth on your level.
Can you hear that? That's the sound of your engine building up damaging deposits. You know, the kind that hurt fuel economy, performance, and the longevity of your engine. And unfortunately, it starts the moment you drive it off the lot. So no matter the age of your vehicle, it's building up deposits. But here's the good news. There's a new motor oil that removes up to 100% of deposits. Introducing Valvoline Restore and Protect. It's the first and only motor oil that restores pistons to factory clean by removing up to 100% of deposits. That's right, 100%. Restoring your engine to run like new. Plus, Valvoline Restore and Protect is a premium full synthetic that features 79% greater wear protection than industry standards. And with continuous use, it even keeps new deposits from forming. So if you like how a new engine performs, you're going to love new Restore and Protect. Another first from Valvoline.
At FedEx Office, we know running a business is a marathon. But sometimes, every task feels like a sprint. Design the product catalog, pick up the new boxes, print the business cards, notarize the lease, put out 20 more yard signs. It's a lot. Luckily for you, FedEx Office is here to help turn your ideas into reality. So you can stop running yourself in circles and start concentrating on the important things, like deciding what's for lunch. Visit your nearest location or office.fedex.com to get started. FedEx Office.
Radio's 24/7 news. The latest. Open the free iHeart app and listen now.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Clouds, breezy, cold afternoon, the high 1. For tonight, snow and flurries, maybe an inch, low 6 below 0. Snow and flurries at times tomorrow, little or no accumulation, high 6. A bit of snow on Wednesday, up to an inch possible, high Wednesday afternoon at 13. For weather anytime, check out AccuWeather.com and download the free app today. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Steve Williams.
Right now, it's 1 below. Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell is sponsored by Lignite Energy Council, fueling the future, powering progress. Back to Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell on KFYR 550, 99.7, and iHeartRadio.
Welcome back to Dakota Mornings. I am your host, Michael Bell, KFYR 550 AM. 99.7 FM, and we are joined in studio and on the phone. We're joined in studio by JD Breck, Guns in the 701, 701 Nation, Clay Peterson, Guns in the 701, 701 Nation, and these gentlemen are going to be part of the next hour and a half, and I absolutely love it because we have so much to cover. Gentlemen, thank you for taking the time.
My pleasure, Mike.
Oh, absolutely. Wish I could have been there, Michael, but hey, winter struck again. So.
Yeah, old man Winter reared up and bit you in the butt, didn't he?
That big Dodge of Clays, it can't buck the snow very good.
Oh, are we going to start off talking about cars? Cool.
They probably could have bucked it, but still can't drive through the wind and the snow.
Yeah, well, and coming in from Mercer County into Bismarck, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, those men and women out on the plows, out de-icing the highways. Hey, props to you. Thank you for your time and your attention to detail, because Interstate 94 was great.
Yeah, I was 49 because as a person who's driven it many times in bad weather.
49 was, I'd give it an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10.
Nice.
Again, they were out early. They were out often. It was not nearly as bad. I mean, of course, reduced speeds in both, but it was it was a great drive in. I left at 6:30 this morning. Anticipating it taking about 2 hours to get to the studio, and it took about an hour and 15 minutes.
Man, you're doing it faster than that's first from Beulah, though, so I got to go another. Yeah, that's about right then.
Yeah.
Okay. That's still pretty good speed at that.
Okay, so and Clay, you weren't here in studio, but we've got a package to give away here, and my guys here have what I'm referring to and characterizing as the shooter's package.
Yep.
And it is a hat, sticker, a koozie, T-shirt, all the cool Guns in the 701 Nation gear. And so we're gonna take the I don't know, what color do you want to take? This is going to be caller number like 3, 4, and 5 of the entire show.
I just go in and whoever gets it first. How's that work?
All right, first one in.
258-0550.
701-258-0550.
Yep, and I'll give you the first question. Who won the Brain Bucket Challenge Saturday? We had the Shooters Brain Bucket Challenge out west.
Oh, I saw that. I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah, real ugly son of a gun. I can tell you that.
I'm blanking on the gentleman's name. Oh wait. Okay, we've got our caller on the line. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Dan, calling from Bismarck, and I'm out plowing snow.
Dan,
Awesome.
thank you for taking the time to call. Are you calling in for the shooter's package?
I am.
It's all yours.
All right, Dan.
Awesome.
I love giving away other people's stuff. I love it. I'm really good at this.
I love winning other people's stuff. So
You got to get the question right, though, Dan. Did you hear what the question was?
no. What is the question?
You have to. Who won our Brain Bucket Shooting Challenge on Saturday? And that was where we had we had the mule deer silhouettes and the Firebird targets on their brain. We had 16 people competing. Who do you think won that?
I'm gonna guess you.
Ding, 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 ding. Great guess. Great guess.
Brilliant.
Lucky.
Brilliant deduction. I mean, I'm shocked that the guy that won was the hometown favorite.
Yeah, we'll give you a little more detail on here as the show goes on. But if you didn't catch that, you can go on our YouTube channel, Guns in the 701, or X, the links on there, or our Facebook page, GAT701, and the whole video is on there. It's about 17 minutes. I spent most of yesterday editing it up, trying to make myself look better shooting.
Sweet. So you got a job in Hollywood if necessary.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Hollywood wouldn't like me down there, probably.
Well, you never know. I mean, at times they are a-changing.
Yeah. So we'll have the package for you at the front desk at the KFYR studios.
Yep,
here, right?
3500 East Rosser in eastern Bismarck City. Can't miss it.
Right across from City Air Mechanical.
Correct. Also across the street from DMVW.
Yeah. Awesome. So, you got yourself a Guns in the 701.
Congratulations, Dan.
Congrats. Yeah, Guns in the 701 koozie, T-shirt, the miniature decal, and a Guns in the 701 at the military, Vietnam camo on the bill on it. So, nice hat and a decal on there. So
it is a great hat. There is at the very least one of those hats in Southern California. My sister wears it proudly, and she gets all kinds of sneers.
I love it. Hey, I know there's some in Arizona, there's Florida. I've seen, got pictures from people. So love it. Appreciate people repping our gear. That's great.
And that's why you do it, and that's why this is a labor of love for you. And I appreciate and this is the first time these Clay and JD, these are the two longest guests that Dakota Mornings will have ever had on the show. Awesome. And we hatched it like what, a year ago, gentlemen?
Yeah, I think
I'm sorry, not a year ago, a month ago.
About 6 months ago.
Well, we started talking about it 6 months ago, and then we finally came upon a date.
Yeah. Oh, you actually let me host a show at one point.
I did.
There,
I was proud to do that.
Governor Armstrong was only sitting right where I was, and I was in your spot right
Yeah, and I've got some great guest hosts lined up. I'm heading to Southern California for a midwinter respite from the cold and snow. Looks like I'm getting out of Dodge in the right time.
Hey, by the way, I got to bring this up real quick. I did call into Too Tall Shumansky when he was on with Todd because they had the thing that said 90 days after a fog, you were supposed to get rain or snow. And the 90 days was the first week of February. Tom Shumansky said it was baloney.
Okay.
Tom. But looking outside, it looked like it was right, at least on this one.
Well, I read an article
Packers
last
fans,
week.
you know.
Yeah, exactly. Packers fans. What good are they? I read an article about some of the old school ways of interpreting the weather, which are much more effective and much more accurate than a lot of the forecasters. And they did the breakdown on the Old Farmer's Almanac. And where their suggestions and prognostications came down, and then I thought about it and I thought to myself, well, you know what? I just asked my mother-in-law and father-in-law when something happens what that means, and they have been right 100% of the time. And I find that absolutely fascinating.
I mean, the old ways, those people knew a lot of.
Well, they had to live off. It's just
they had to figure it out that way instead of having computer aid help them and whatnot.
That's exactly right, and that goes to demonstrate very as clearly as anything that the people working the land are the best stewards of the land.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Absolutely.
And by the way, we are having another giveaway later in the show.
After the 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So Clay, put your thinking cap on it. You come up with because I just came up with the trivia question there real quick. And
Clay,
it was a real brilliant one.
That was a real tough one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've encouraged you to whatever the trivia question is, you're the answer. So.
So you want to talk a little bit about?
Yeah, let's.
Okay.
What do you want to start with? We have, just to give the listeners a little bit of an inside scoop, we have a list of about 20 things to talk about.
Right.
We'll probably get through 2.
On the paper.
Yeah. We'll probably get through 2.
Yeah. But so the first thing, let's just hit on the brain bucket challenge, like somebody doesn't know what it is. Mike, a lot of people, when they get a doe tag, they say, I'm just going to do some head hunting. I'm going to shoot her in the head and, don't wreck any meat. So we kind of thought, all right, let's play off of that a little bit. And our buddy Axel Hondo at his Ranger, one of the show sponsors from LAUER Auto, he cut out a bunch of muley doe silhouette heads. And we got what's called Firebird targets. For lack of a better term, like a little tannerite.
Huh?
But, and we put them on right in the middle of the head. They were 2.3 inches,
in diameter?
2.75 inches diameter. Okay. You had to hit that, and we had a pickup there. So you had 2 spots to shoot out of the pickup window or over the hood. Yeah, we know it's illegal to do that. So we're just kind of playing off. We're having a little fun with it, right?
Which is one of the other things we're going to talk about out of Wyoming.
Yeah, it's going to tie into something later. So Jeb, don't come through the door chewing me out. We know it's not legal. And we had 16 people competing.
Okay.
One shot at 125 yards, and whoever hit that moved on. I hit it.
How many of the 16 hit the first shot?
2.
Okay.
And we were worried we were going to run out of.
Hey,
what's that?
There was also the first time they got hit was by Brian Warner's wife. So we all got beat by a girl right out of the gate.
Yeah,
I love every part of that.
Jolene Warner, and I even said,
I'm not going anywhere near her property ever.
With she had the 6.5 Creedmoor, actually, and I had the Bloodline Kinetics 701 rifle, 223. Yeah, Mama Joe hit it. Jolene hit it first, and I was a little worried, but I got up. She pretty much hit that first one dead center. I got lucky. I clipped the edge of it, and
stuff still blew up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it did. But the more centered you hit these Firebirds, the bigger the boom on it.
Okay.
And so then for round 2, we just decided that, nobody hit it, so let's just go again at 125.
Okay.
And I had a little different hold position. I went over the hood again, but the way I was positioning my rifle, I felt fairly confident I was going to hit it. And I did, and then Mama Joe unfortunately missed. The grand prize was we had a kitty. Everybody threw $10 in.
Okay.
And, of course, I just mentioned Bloodline Kinetics. Jake gave us free barrel threading for the winner. I couldn't wait. I wasn't going to take that price. So I said, I'm not taking this.
You
I
can
don't know
do
what
it yourself.
To do.
So.
Clayton said, give it to Mama Joe. She shot real good and took second place, so she's got herself a barrel 30.
See, that's the grace and class that, Clay, you bring to all of these events.
Well, I tell you what, it was a fun time. We hope we hope we have a great time with everybody. And yeah, we're not out to do this, for the glory. We want everybody to have a great time.
Yeah, I mean, and it takes for lack of better, I mean, people's fallacies or whatever about how easy it is to. And to be fair, Michael, some of them that never hit the Firebird would have hit the deer in the head anyways. But sure. I would recommend. I mean, if you're proned out or something or have a good shooting position at 100, yeah, probably do it. But I mean, just leaning over something like that. I mean, I hit it, but would I do that in real life? No, I'd lay down on the ground and prone out. You're better off just shooting it behind the shoulder and getting it done that way. And
well, and see, when you talk about 125 yards, I'm like dead nuts between a pitching wedge and a 9. So that's where my head goes. I tell you what, leaning over the hood, I told everybody to do a little practice, hold here and I went over the hood and I told Axe, I said, I'm not very confident at this. I'm a lot more wobbly than I purposely drank half the amount of coffee I usually do. Okay.
And, but yeah.
And half the amount of Jack Daniels the night before.
That was later. But yeah, and
Fireball. And
one more thing, I think Axel's wife Lynette made us some chili there. Some guys.
Lynette, thank you.
Lynette, brought Dan brought some noodle salad from Dickinson. Some other people. We had people from over by Fargo, South Dakota, Dickinson, coming all over to do it. So I appreciate everybody, taking time out and driving that far. And the weather was awesome for us.
Yeah, and I would have loved to have been there. I had every intention of being there. And then Friday, I got the flu from my stepdaughter, or my wife, my stepdaughter, my niece who's staying with us. All three, just one after another, and so I slept all day Saturday.
Yeah, there's more to come. So
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to when we do one from Richardton.
Yeah, me too. But we got. I've seen the gongs there. We're in for a treat with those. I see.
Yeah. All right, we need to go to a commercial break. This is Dakota Mornings. I am your host, Michael Bell, KFYR 550 AM, 99.7 FM. We are joined by JD Breck, Clay Peterson, Guns in the 701 and 701 Nation. And we've got another hour to come here. I'm really excited for this.
Me too. It's going to be fun.
This is going to be a good time. Thank you for tuning in. Stick around after this brief commercial break.
Located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck, Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber, rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitution. constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
ANVIL Brand LLC, raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses right out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Tracy and her family are great American patriots who not only support the Second Amendment, but they also promoted what you're looking for, top quality barrel horses. Go ahead and give Tracy a call at 701-471-6629 and tell them Guns and 701.com sent you. That's ANVIL Brand LLC out of Bismarck, North Dakota.
Like Michael, the flow like Aubrey. Walk around thinking I'm a prince like Saudi. Mismatched Converse, t-shirts tucked in. Know my worth, can't tell me nothing. White Nikes, albino, pink.
Behind the wheel of a new Ford today, based on calendar year total sales.
Etsy thinks this year is going to be your year. Refresh your home with original art under $75. And update your accessories with personalized jewelry under $50. For home and style finds to help you start fresh, Etsy has it.
And social interests of cities, counties, and school districts in the energy-producing region of our state, the oil, gas, and coal counties. Back to Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell on KFYR 550, 99.7, and iHeartRadio.
Welcome back to Dakota Mornings. This is your host. I'm your host, Michael Bell, KFYR, 550 AM, 99.7 FM. And Pet Shop Boys?
No. Boys don't cry.
Boys don't cry.
I want to be a cowboy. So we got Clay on here. We got to get him some cowboy music.
Yeah, there. Okay.
You know what's bad, Jamie? I know this song.
Well, so I know it too. I just have no idea who sings it, clearly. I could sing along with it if I wanted to. I'm
1985.
Okay. I was a sophomore in high school.
I was at Simley Junior High back then, now middle school.
Okay. So I want to pick both of your brains. The Department of Defense has undertaken a 12-year examination and a deep dive into changing out the rifles issued to our American servicemen and women. And it was just released a couple of weeks ago. That they are transitioning to a new weapon. Number one, do you trust the process? And number two, what are your thoughts on the outcome?
You want to go on this one first, Clayton?
Yeah, so it's always good to upgrade. I am not going to complain about that as much as I would, I guess. But I don't see the XM7 really going anywhere. They've tried
the XM7 is the new rifle.
Correct. Yes, and they've been trying to replace it, actually. This isn't the first attempt at that. The M4 came about, really hard in the 90s. But, there's some great things. Some things that they put out there, to me, are just standard stuff. They're saying it's more accurate. I don't know about that. I mean, I just watched Jamie do a brain bucket with his 223-556. So I don't know if it's more accurate in that 6.8 by 51, but
it was all rifle, baby.
Well, I mean, wouldn't it be? Yeah, I was going to say that's like somebody's driver being more accurate. I think it's all behind the shooter.
Exactly, and it's 2 pounds heavier. And I know that don't sound like a lot of weight, but I'm telling anybody that's done some diehard coyote hunting or any kind of hunting, I can't imagine if you're carrying that for a longer period of time in combat or in training. 2 pounds is going to add up. It truly is. So, I don't buy that it's a better rifle. That might have some better upgrades possibly, but even at that, I just don't see it replacing that M4, especially right now. It'll be hard to say with everything that's happening in administration right now. They may say, hey, that's one thing that we don't have to focus on for an expense. It'd be my idea, and we're going to cut that right at the moment and not put a new, firearm into production and work out the bugs from there. We all know something new. Guess what?
Yeah, there are going to be bugs.
Something. I mean, I don't think it's a bad gun. I don't think it's a bad firearm, but I just don't see where it's going to be an advantage for the expense, especially when we're going probably possibly we might see some turbulent times. I don't know. But I'd want my soldiers having the most familiar rifle that they've been training on for decades in those positions rather than taking a brand new firearm into the battlefield. To me, I would have really big reservations with it.
And I'm sure that there are a lot of commanders that feel the exact same way. So, and as far as the soldiers on the ground, JD, I want to ask you, you've been hearing a lot from retired soldiers and retired military. What are their thoughts on this?
I mean, the ones that I've read and watched that have done their own testing on it, they're not very encouraged. There's been jams quite a bit. Like Clay said, a lot heavier than, like you said, 2 pounds is a lot. That's a lot on a rifle for sure. Yeah. And I mean, they complain about that. And the round, the 277 Fury is what they call it, 27 cal. It is faster. And they needed to make a different kind of case on it because the pressure is like 80,000 chamber pressure compared to like a 60 and a 5.56. And it's tearing the brass and it's getting caught in the chamber and jamming it up in there. So, Brandon Herrera did a whole test on it. He wasn't a fan. Nice looking rifle, but it's almost looks bulky to me as well. Yeah. And a guy, I think he was a Delta Force guy. He tested it from a military times or something. He had some good things to say, but for the most part, he said he wasn't real impressed with it.
Okay.
And accuracy. Yeah, I mean, I saw a guy do that too, and it wasn't any more accurate, maybe a hair. And then like penetration tests into Banana Ballistics did it. He does a penetration test on all kinds of, and actually, I think the 308 in his scoring actually just edged it out. So I don't know. And the round's just going to be more expensive. I mean, it's way more expensive, right? I think they'd be better off trying to get a better 2.23 5.56 round, which there is something coming out, and Claire going to talk about that on Wednesday.
Yeah, and will you guys give a little bit of a preview of that?
Yeah,
when we come back
let's
from commercial?
All right,
let's do it. All right, this is Dakota Mornings. I am your host, Michael Bell, KFYR 550 AM, 99.7 FM. We are an iHeartMedia production, and we are joined by JD Breck, Clay Peterson, Guns in the 701, 701 Nation. Look them up and watch their podcasts.
In a world where every second counts,
immigration raids are still underway across the country.
iHeartRadio has one podcast that keeps you informed. 24/7 News, the latest. Today's latest news every hour in just 4 minutes.
DeepSeek launched its AI model R1 last week.
Be the first to know.
President Trump has sent a loud and clear message.
iHeartRadio's 24/7 News, the latest. Open the free iHeart app and listen now.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Or buying decision. Look for the registration number. Buy the power. Buy registered Angus bulls.
KFYR Bismarck, celebrating 100 years as the legendary voice of the Northern Plains. Listen on the free iHeart app for all your music, sports, talk, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
He's putting tariffs on hold for Mexico. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump just posted that on the Truth Social, and Fox's Jackie Heinrich reports from the White House.
The president spoke with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, the two sides agreeing to pump the brakes on the tariffs and then retaliatory tariffs that Mexico promised for the period of a month. The Mexican president just posted some of the details. Mexico is going to immediately send 10,000 members of the National Guard to prevent drug trafficking from Mexico to the United States, particularly fentanyl.
No word on the 25% tariff set to go into effect at midnight, still on most Canadian imports. This morning, the president also talked to Canada's prime minister, who's vowed to retaliate, and they'll talk again later today. 10% tariffs on Chinese goods also go into effect tomorrow. On Wall Street, a big sell-off earlier isn't as big now. The Dow's down only 125 points. The U.S. Agency for International Development is closed today after Elon Musk, who runs the Department of Government Efficiency, took control of the USAID computer systems and said on X,
It's beyond repair. None of this could be done without the full support of the president. Actually checked with him a few times. Said, are you sure? I'm like, yes. So we're shutting it down.
Now some critical reaction.
What's happening right now is
dangerous for the United States and humanity.
Atul Gawande is a former head of global health at USAID and just told Fox.
These are programs touching hundreds of millions of people around the world.
In a few minutes, Vice President Vance, who's from Ohio, will go back to East Palestine 2 years to the day after a disastrous train derailment. Fox's Mike Tobin's there.
You have residents who still complain about health issues. Now, faulty bearing is blamed for causing that train to derail, resulting in a fire and a controlled explosion of tanker cars, which burned for a long time. And those contain the hazardous chemical vinyl chloride. The NTSB now says that controlled explosion and burn never needed to happen.
The National Transportation Safety Board also keeps investigating last week's midair collision near Washington. Crews keep searching the Potomac River this morning for the last 12 bodies of the 67 people killed. America's listening to Fox News.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
KFYR.
Now, your
Defense
chance to win
Secretary Pete Hegseth is going to the
$1,000.
southern
Just
border
enter this
today.
nationwide
Texas
keyword
says the
on our
Pentagon assists
website.
with mass
Check.
deportations
That's
after all the
check.
illegal immigration
Enter it
raids since
now.
President Trump returned.
KFYR.com.
And some of those arrested will be sent to the
From
U.S.
the
prison that's been
iHeartRadio
housing
North Dakota
terror
newsroom,
suspects for
I'm
more than
David
20
Kale,
years.
the former
More than
governor of North
150
Dakota,
U.S.
sworn in
soldiers
as
and Marines
Interior
have now
Secretary.
landed at the U.S.
Following
Navy
his
station at
confirmation
Guantanamo
in the
Bay,
U.S.
Cuba,
Senate
joining the
Thursday,
service members
Doug
already.
Burgum officially assumed his new title during a swearing-in ceremony Saturday. According to KFYR TV, Burgum shared a photo of the moment with his wife Catherine holding the Bible on X. He wrote that, quote, "We look forward to delivering on President Trump's vision for energy dominance." I'm Tony Manus.
State Senator Todd Beard has introduced a bill aimed at permanently shutting down cloud seeding. The practice involves sending silver iodide and dry ice into seedable clouds to promote rainfall. The Senate bill would prohibit the use of weather modification, as well as making it a Class B misdemeanor. Northwest North Dakota farmers joining Beard in testifying, saying it weakens storm systems and that they haven't seen any benefits to it.
We're now in a trade war. What's happening with Canada?
KFYR 550.
Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action.
We have over a $300 billion deficit.
Check in each hour
They don't take our cars.
for the very latest.
They don't take our farm product. They take almost nothing. And we take everything from them. Millions of cars, food and farm product.
Opting for Canadian rye over Kentucky bourbon.
The day's news.
Changing your summer vacation plans to...
I'm Greg Rosenthal, host of NFL Daily. Join me live from Radio Row in New Orleans. I'll be interviewing the NFL's biggest names all week long. NFL Daily will have you ready for this year's big moment. Will it be Mahomes completing the three-peat or Jalen Hurts avenging their Super Bowl 57 loss? We'll be there on the field after the game. Full recap, interviews with this year's Super Bowl champions. Don't miss it.
Listen to NFL Daily on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow NFL Daily and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
This is Jenny Garth from I Do Part 2. Everyone's talking about GLP-1s like Ozempic, semaglutide. With Future Health, you can find out if they're right for you too. Just go to tryfh.com. That's tryfh.com and find out if weight loss meds are right for you in just 3 minutes. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion. Results may vary. Sponsored by Future Health.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant and home office. 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one
who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attention parents. Watch your child go from ABCs to confident readers in just 30 days with Hooked on Phonics. It only takes 15 minutes a day to unlock the most important life skill for their future, reading. We transform kids no matter their starting point with fun lessons, catchy songs, and guaranteed results. 1 grade level jump or your money back. Right now, get free access to Hooked on Math and Spelling apps, plus your first month for just $1. Visit hookedonphonics.com today and unleash your child's reading potential.
Hi, I'm Devin Whitmire. People from South Carolina, like myself, are proud of their state, but even we don't know every nook and cranny or every piece of culture or history. To explore places that are off the beaten path, you have to talk to the people there, because their stories, their ideas, make everything come together. From Discover South Carolina, it's the Palmetto Porch. To learn more, visit scpalmettoporch.com.
By River City Sports. The best camper is one you can use year-round. Check out Ice Castle at River City Sports.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Clouds, breezy, cold afternoon, the high 1. For tonight, snow and flurries, maybe an inch, low 6 below 0. Snow and flurries at times tomorrow, little or no accumulation, high 6. A bit of snow on Wednesday, up to an inch possible, high Wednesday afternoon at 13. For weather anytime, check out AccuWeather.com and download the free app today. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Steve Williams.
Right now, it's 1 below. Real Estate Talk during Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell is sponsored by the Title Team every other week. KFYR 550 brings you the information you need to know and the newsmakers at the center of the stories. This is Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell on KFYR 550, 99.7, and iHeartRadio.
Welcome back to Dakota Mornings. I'm your host, Michael Bell, KFYR 550 AM, 99.7 FM. We are joined by J.D. Breck, Clay Peterson, Guns in the 701, 701 Nation. Am I putting your names in the right order there, Clay, or should I reverse them? Clay Peterson and J.D. Breck.
We don't care. Yeah, you're good.
I think I alternate every time I have you guys on.
Clay's younger than me, so you can go ahead and use his first.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, by 3 years.
Age before beauty. All right, so we have another giveaway. A Guns in the 701 Hydro Flask. I have one. Everybody in my family tries to steal it on a daily basis. The thing is awesome. I have to hide it throughout the house, and I've been successful so far. But we're giving one away, and I highly recommend that. We're going to give it away, 701-258-0550. Clay Peterson, you have the trivia. The floor is yours.
Tell you what, just for everybody that doesn't think that the NRA does anything, this one's for you. So, what year was the National Rifle Association founded?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love this. What year was the National Rifle Association founded?
Yes.
Okay, 701-258-0550. And you get yourself, if you name it correctly, if you name the year correctly, and I'm sure everybody in frigging North Dakota knows this, then you get the Hydro Flask, the Guns in the 701 Nation Hydro Flask, and that's very, very cool.
Now, what does that look like, Michael? Let everybody know.
What? I'm sorry?
Hydro Flask, what color?
Oh, it's black with the rose gold lettering.
Yeah, it's nice. That's Clay's idea. That was his color.
Yeah, the rose gold was a good touch. And a bit surprising for the gun nuts you gentlemen are. I like the black. I like the rose gold, the lettering. I mean, it's cool, man.
It turned out great, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Horton Lasercraft, they're the people, one of our sponsors too. They're the ones that did that work, and I got to give kudos to them because he's a retired vet. So is she, Roger and Jane. Great people. In fact, she worked on Blackhawks, by the way. She was a Blackhawk helicopter mechanic. So kudos to her. I mean, they're great people, and we're really happy to do business with them.
All right. Yeah, they've been great for us. And all right, Clay, hold on. I think we got somebody.
Oh, yeah, we have a caller.
All right.
All right. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what year?
Tim, and I'm calling from Bismarck, 1871.
Ding, ding, ding.
Awesome.
All right.
Fantastic. Congratulations. I had 1873, so I was a couple of years off. Tim, thank you so much for taking the time to call.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And so what do you do here around town?
I'm retired, but I was a high voltage lineman.
Oh,
awesome. Appreciate you.
God bless the high voltage linemen and linewomen for the work they do at this time of year. My hat goes off to you. We've had a lineman here on Dakota Mornings, and you guys are the tip of the spear.
My brother-in-law Kelly's been a lineman for years. So
yeah,
absolutely. Yep.
So
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
The Hydro Flask will be at the front desk here at the Dakota Mornings Studios, also known as the iHeart Studios, here at 3500 East Rosser Ave in Eastern Bismarck.
Broadway. Are we on Broadway here? What is this?
3500 East Rosser.
Rosser, okay.
It's embedded
I
in
used
my
to
head.
live on West Rosser, and I spaced it out.
Yeah. Gee, you're pretty.
Yeah. Are you an NRA member, Tim?
I think he's got him. He's taking his information down. So we can move on to Clay. How did you come up with that brilliant trivia question?
Well, I was a lifelong employee, lifelong member, and then I worked for them in charge of North and South Dakota. And I've done a little lobbying for them. So, yeah, I've been involved since I was...
Wait. Tap the brakes. You were a lobbyist?
I did some lobbying for them.
Wow. So you were a registered lobbyist?
No. I was never registered.
Clay was like Knuckles, man. Nobody knew about him. He just went and talked to people.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it went. I was the guy that...
It's also illegal, but...
I just put it this way. I did some favors on my own accord. How's that sound, Mike?
Even worse. Even worse. You're just digging yourself in deeper. We're going to move on. Wyoming has new legislation.
I never care about that stuff. I just do what's right.
Well, I had to register to lobby on behalf of the NRA. I feel like if I had to do it, everybody should have to do it.
I wasn't officially a lobbyist.
That's why he said on his own accord. He wasn't officially speaking for Uncle Wayne.
Yeah, there's all these technicalities that y'all like, but lobbyists are evil.
I don't think that.
Anyway, I want to talk about this.
Anti-gun lobbyists are, but
yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, your opponents.
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense. Hey, I'm with you. So Wyoming legislature considering legislation, and I'm going to let you guys talk about this because this is really important. It's important to a large segment of people.
Yeah.
So why don't you guys, inform our listeners where we are and where Wyoming is going.
Well, it kind of come up. A guy actually, I think they got stopped by a game warden out there in Wyoming, the way it sounded. And it was interesting. They didn't know, and honestly, we had to look it up here. Jamie and I both did. And luckily, our great listeners that listen on Wednesday night, Dan Brown, he kind of gave us the insight in North Dakota that we could actually do this. But they got stopped. They didn't know. So I imagine what happened is some reps and some legislators in Wyoming got called, and they decided that they should probably bring forth a bill that does allow people out there to shoot things like varmints, prairie dogs, and things like that from a vehicle. They found out that they couldn't do it, and the guys were like, really? We didn't know that. Here's one thing I found out about this after really looking into this, and I think this may be a great idea for North Dakota. Game and Fish does not have a primary jurisdiction over animals classified as predatory in Wyoming. That's left to the Department of Agriculture, which has coyotes, fox, skunk, jackrabbits, and, just a lot of other things. And no license required to shoot them. And they can be shot from a vehicle, but prairie dogs were not part of that. And that's what they're trying to do, to bring that in line, which to me makes complete sense in Wyoming. And I love that idea that basically big game or trophy animals aren't even regulated by Game and Fish in Wyoming. They're probably where they belong, as far as I'm concerned, in the Department of Agriculture, because that's the kind of animals that primarily are affecting our business. So I love the fact that it's actually there, and I didn't realize that till we found this article. So man, maybe it's something new for the next session for us.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's still what, 55, 56 days left in this legislative session. I know that the deadline for introducing legislation has come and gone, but you know,
correct.
as a former lobbyist, I can tell you there are a number of ways around that.
Oh yeah, I think we both know them too.
We'll get them next time.
But I kind of like the idea of building the momentum, and then also smoking out those that are, as far as I'm concerned, against us, and then we know who our enemies are. But so that's even more fun.
Yeah, you can actually, you need a special permit, but you can shoot big game out of your vehicle, out of the car window, like we were doing in the challenge there, right? I know this for sure before I even read this, because a buddy of mine snapped his leg off once, and he had a big cage around his foot, but he got the deer hunting permit to go in his vehicle. So you can get that. I mean, you can't just go in there and go, "Hey Jeb, I don't feel like walking around. Can I shoot one out of the car window? Give me a permit." That don't work.
Nor should it.
Well,
nor should it.
But the firearms preparation, the firearms safety, the classes, but also the safety that's passed down from generation to generation with regard to firearms in North Dakota. I mean, it is commonplace to see this type of thing. And I compare this to, okay, they're doing it all the time in like the south side of Chicago. Unregulated, unlicensed, they're shooting humans, regulated and not regulated, but with care beforehand and the training all involved. I mean, why not out of here?
Yeah. I just look at it like this. There's no reason, especially on this, not to pass something like this. It did make it out of their committee. And ironically, the only 2 votes against it were from Democrats. Go figure. Everybody else voted for it. Yeah, go figure that, right?
Yeah. So one of our listeners, Eric, also said, Clay, that he thinks if you're off the road, you can actually lean over the hood and shoot big game with your pickup, just not from the highway. That's what
in North Dakota?
I don't know. He said in South Dakota. He wasn't sure about North Dakota, which I'm not either. I always prone out and do it, but I mean, unless we're doing a shooting contest.
Sure. Okay, we need to go to a commercial. Yeah, we need, you guys need to hit the books, okay? We need to go to a commercial break here. This is Dakota Mornings. I am your host, Michael Bell, KFYR 550 AM, 99.7 FM. We are an iHeartMedia production, and we are joined by Clay Peterson, JD Brecht, Guns in the 701, 701 Nation, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to spend 5 minutes talking about how people can access your show, how they can support your sponsors, and I want to talk about your sponsors a little
Appreciate that, Mike.
I'm Greg Rosenthal, host of NFL Daily. Join me live from Radio Row in New Orleans. I'll be interviewing the NFL's biggest names all week long. NFL Daily will have you ready for this year's big moment. Will it be Mahomes completing the 3-peat or Jalen Hurts avenging their Super Bowl 57 loss? We'll be there on the field after the game. Full recap, interviews with this year's Super Bowl champions. Don't miss it.
Listen to NFL Daily on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow NFL Daily and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Hi, this is Jenny Garth from I Do Part 2. Who do you know on Ozempic or semaglutide right now? Everyone, right? These game-changing weight loss meds are everywhere, and Future Health makes it easy to get started. Find out if weight loss meds are right for you in just 3 minutes at tryfh.com. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion. Results may vary. Sponsored by Future Health.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 rising from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant at home office. 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. As you know, Grainger offers 1 million products backed by the scale to deliver when and where they're needed, so the right tools or supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A well-run business relies on solid partnerships. From employees to vendors, good partners make all the difference. Work with the bank that partners with you to provide all the services you need in one place, and will guide you through financial decisions based on your unique goals. Work with Bremer Bank, because understanding is everything. Put us to work for you today at bremer.com.
Some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a huge inheritance. But a phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard for a new one on us. Just trade in any phone from our top brands with select unlimited plans. $829.99 purchase with new smartphone line on select unlimited plans. Minimum $90 per month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Less $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port-in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.
Your engine is dirtier than you think. As soon as it started for the first time, it begins building up engine-killing deposits that dramatically impact longevity, fuel economy, and performance. And at Valvoline, preventing these damaging deposits isn't enough. We've revolutionized a way to completely reverse them. Introducing Valvoline Restore and Protect, the first and only motor oil that restores pistons to factory clean by removing up to 100% of deposits. That's right, 100%. This first-of-its-kind innovation restores engines to run like new. And the more you use it, the more it continually cleans inside your engine. Plus, Valvoline Restore and Protect is a premium full synthetic that provides 79% better wear protection than industry standards. It not only eliminates deposits, it prevents future deposits from forming. Restore your pistons to factory clean. With all new Restore and Protect, another first from Valvoline.
Today. Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell is brought to you by First International Bank and Trust, helping people live first since 1910. Back to Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell on KFYR 550, 99.7, and iHeartRadio.
Welcome back to Dakota Mornings. I'm your host, Michael Bell, KFYR 550 AM, 99.7 FM. We are joined by Clay Peterson, J.D. Breck, Guns in the 701, 701 Nation, and clearly this is music requested by them.
These guys are coming to Bismarck, man.
Oh,
got to get out and see them. Hollywood Undead.
Yeah,
let's hit it. What day? What time?
Well, you got to talk to Ginger.
Okay,
I'll be on Rock 101 pretty soon here.
Oh yeah?
Yes, sir.
Well, tell us about that.
Yeah, what's that about?
Well,
Dan the man.
Oh. I like your music choice, Dan.
Thanks,
so I listen to 101 too. I like Ginger shows.
Yep.
I like Hollywood Undead. They got some good tunes.
Booking
Michael,
weddings right now. We'll play all this at your wedding if you want. Probably not. So they're one of my favorites, Hollywood Undead.
Yeah.
First dance with the new spouse. This sounds like the perfect.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
let's put away
not what
Amaze
my
for a
wife
while.
would choose, but
Let's put away Lone Star and bring out the rock music.
Yeah. I mean, my wife and I went with a little Adele. So this
there
is
you go.
Like it.
Same.
He's got some pipes.
Yeah. So let's. I want you first of all, before we go any further.
Yeah.
I want you and Clay to let people know how they can watch, how they can view, how they can access. It's become a bit of a maze navigating. You're getting bounced from various platforms.
It is, and the most recent one was Facebook. I think I mentioned once or twice that we had over a couple thousand followers, and they said we were gun dealers, and that was against their. And so we had to start all over, right? We're building it back up. I think we're just under, I don't know, I think we got about 400 now.
And yet they allow the Uyghurs in China to have,
there's been plenty of stuff in there I can't believe. Yeah, if you ever look for us on Facebook, it's just GAT701, GAT and then 701. You can find us that way.
Pretty easy, yep.
Yep, and X and on YouTube is at Guns and the 701.
Okay.
And Rumble, Clay, I think it's just Guns and the 701 on there, right?
Yep, just Guns in the 701. Just search it. You're going to come to two pages because when we were figuring all that out when we created it, I had one under my own personal. That's how I thought I had to do it. Now we have our own channel. Either one of them are still functional. So, yeah, go check them out. And Rumble's good. I mean, to me, they don't have near the issues, and they've never, ever censored us on there whatsoever. So I do like them, and we're going to be able to migrate that into our Restream platform eventually.
Cool.
I just got to tweak out a couple little things, and I think then we'll have it up and running. But yeah, and I encourage everybody to go over to X, because X has been good to us. Have never had any issues there, and it's actually got a clearer picture. It's way high definition.
You watch the live stream.
Pixelization.
The one thing about X, we can't post like longer videos like the shooting challenges we do, or the hunting videos or gun tests. You can't do that, so there's usually a link in there to Rumble or YouTube to watch the.
Okay.
And
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
I think that you gentlemen should proliferate TikTok and Red Notice, just to let the Chinese army know.
We were on TikTok, Michael. I got to be honest with you.
The Chinese Communist Party army was like, wait a minute.
It was just another thing to post something on, and I was already going, if people don't know, when you do this, man, it takes a lot of time to edit videos and to post stuff what's the big deal? You just hit a button and it posts it there. Not really. You got to tag everything and your sponsors. And I think, Clay, if you go to gunsandthe701.com, you got all the links to our social media on there, don't you? Clay?
Absolutely, yep. You can go on there, hit gunsandthe701.com, all our contact information. You can email us. You can do everything from that site.
Why don't you spell out Guns in the 701 just for listeners who have a pencil in their hand right now?
Well, Guns, Guns, and AND, the THE 701. Yeah,
perfect. Thank you. So I just wanted to make sure you guys weren't throwing an ampersand in there.
I mean, we kind of did at some point, and a few people asked me that. Is that supposed to be in there? And okay. And then Deeks, our other guy in South Dakota, he started doing the GAT701. I'm like, GAT. I like that. Let's just go with that.
I like GAT as well. Facebook. That's when I put you guys down on the schedule. It's GAT. See?
I love that. Like
it works good. When we first started this, 2.5 years ago already, we didn't know what we were doing. So we were new to this. We've come a long ways from where we started, and we appreciate everybody, and especially our sponsors. We can't do it without them.
From the get go, we've had Lauer Auto Repair in Bismarck, Axel down there, and the boys. They were the first ones on board with us. And a Bloodline, Jake got on with us at Bloodline Kinetics here in Bismarck. He does do custom gun builds, and I mean he's pretty much a gunsmith. Cerakote, any kind of coating on there, barrel threading. Like I said, he gave that one away as a prize for us. He does all kinds of stuff, custom like bolt rifles, AR-15s, whatever you want.
Well, and I can't help, whenever I watch your show, whenever I listen to your show, I can't help but think to myself that if the folks in North Korea, if the folks in China, if the folks in Tehran are looking for a way into the United States, they're going to stay away from North Dakota and Montana.
Yeah, try Massachusetts or something if you're going to give it a go. Exactly. Right here,
there's still some tea in the harbor.
One thing I got to point out, too, is that, of course, we got ANVIL Brand, another great sponsor, a newer one. But Mandan Sporting Goods is probably our second longest one that's been with the show, and we sure appreciate Brandon and the guys over there because, like I said, it can't be done without the sponsors. And, of course, our brand new one, Horton Laser Crafts, and then Little Man Angry Arms, and that's down there in South Dakota. So we got some great sponsors.
I'd say, Clay, if somebody doesn't know what ANVIL Brand LLC is, they're southeast of Bismarck here, and they do Tracy trains barrel horses there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, actually, your husband participated in a shoot with us, and he was he actually was National Guard and military, flew Blackhawks for many years.
God bless that man.
Yeah, good dude, real good dude.
I want to separate you both from some of your money. It sounds to me, with all your sponsors, like you guys are rolling in it. We have a waiting list here on Dakota Mornings for advertisers. There's a waiting list. It's like a half a dozen to 10 folks deep that want to advertise, but I know a guy who can move you up the ladder. If we can separate you from some money, and
we got to get more money before we can get separated. Otherwise, I'd be down with that. I mean, it sounds like live streaming. Joe Rogan and these other guys and Brandon Herrera, they make a lot of money doing it. Clay and I don't.
Right.
Like you said, it's a labor of love. We're paying the bills. There's no doubt about it. And, we got to get a lot of sponsors for not as much as the big guys make, which it's not like Clay and I want this to be our primary thing, right?
Be nice if it was,
but it's not. Yeah, it is nice to make a little money, and just doing gun tests. We do that anyways, and gun range stuff. So we might as well do it and pay the bills and get the message out and have some fun.
Amen. We need to go to a commercial break. This is Dakota Mornings. I'm your host, Michael Bell. KFYR 550 AM, 99.7 FM. We are joined by JD Breck and Clay Peterson, Guns in the 701, 701 Nation. Go to Guns in the 701 and click on the link to any of their social media. We'll be back after this short break.
KFYR 550 with Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell. More coming up.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. President Trump says new tariffs on Mexican imports due to take effect tomorrow are on hold. Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House.
The president spoke with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, the two sides agreeing to pump the brakes on tariffs and then retaliatory tariffs that Mexico promised for the period of a month. Mexico is going to immediately send 10,000 members of the National Guard to prevent drug trafficking from Mexico to the United States, particularly fentanyl. Also, she says the U.S. is going to work with Mexico to prevent the trafficking of high-powered weapons to Mexico.
And President Trump says he'll be speaking again later today with Canada's Prime Minister about tariffs. There's regional retaliation there.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford declaring we'll be ripping up the $100 million contract with Elon Musk's Starlink that was to deliver high-speed internet to remote rural and northern residents.
I'm Greg Rosenthal, host of NFL Daily. Join me live from Radio Row in New Orleans. I'll be interviewing the NFL's biggest names all week long. NFL Daily will have you ready for this year's big moment. Will it be Mahomes completing the three-peat or Jalen Hurts avenging their Super Bowl 57 loss? We'll be there on the field after the game. Full recap, interviews with this year's Super Bowl champions. Don't miss it.
Listen to NFL Daily on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow NFL Daily and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Hi, this is Jenny Garth from I Do Part 2. Who do you know on Ozempic or semaglutide right now? Everyone, right? These game-changing weight loss meds are everywhere, and Future Health makes it easy to get started. Find out if weight loss meds are right for you in just 3 minutes at tryfh.com. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion. Results may vary. Sponsored by Future Health.
At Mariner, behind every advisor is access to a team of advisors designed to provide solutions for complex wealth challenges. So advisors have a go-to person for tax support, another person whose whole world is insurance, and someone else focused entirely on estate planning. All from Mariner, and all working together so advisors have access to everything they need to be everything their clients need. Learn more about partnering with us at joinmariner.com. Wealth on your level.
Your engine is dirtier than you think. As soon as it started for the first time, it begins building up engine-killing deposits that dramatically impact longevity, fuel economy, and performance. And at Valvoline, preventing these damaging deposits isn't enough. We've revolutionized a way to completely reverse them. Introducing Valvoline Restore and Protect, the first and only motor oil that restores pistons to factory clean by removing up to 100% of deposits. That's right, 100%. This first-of-its-kind innovation restores engines to run like new. And the more you use it, the more it continually cleans inside your engine. Plus, Valvoline Restore and Protect is a premium full synthetic that provides 79% better wear protection than industry standards. It not only eliminates deposits, it prevents future deposits from forming. Restore your pistons to factory clean. With all new Restore and Protect, another first from Valvoline.
Giving back has always been our culture at Maury's Minnetonka Subaru. During the Subaru Loves to Help initiative, join us in partnering with Bridge of Youth to provide coats to those experiencing homelessness. At Maury's Minnetonka Subaru, our hope is that these essential items ensure not only warmth and comfort to those in urgent need, but will also make a meaningful difference in their mental and emotional well-being. Maury's Minnetonka Subaru, more than a car dealer. Go to MinnetonkaSubaru.com to learn more.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again. Because more people are listening to the radio on iHeart today than they were 20 years ago. And only iHeart Broadcast Radio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, social, any other media. Even twice as many teens than TikTok. And that reach means everything. Just think about the universal marketing formula. The number of consumers who hear your message times the response rate equals the results. Now let's get those results growing for your business. Radio's here now more than ever, and iHeart's leading the way. Think radio can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, podcasting, and radio, where the reach is real. Let us show you at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com. Or call 844-844-iHeart. One more time, just call 844-844-iHeart and get radio working for you.
Years of age or older.
For detailed information on these and other jobs, head to this station's website and click on the job connection.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Clouds, breezy, cold afternoon, the high 1. For tonight, snow and flurries, maybe an inch, low 6 below 0. Snow and flurries at times tomorrow, little or no accumulation, high 6. A bit of snow on Wednesday, up to an inch possible, high Wednesday afternoon at 13. For weather anytime, check out AccuWeather.com and download the free app today. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Steve Williams.
Right now, it's 2 below. Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell is sponsored by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation, advancing the possibilities. Back to Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell on KFYR 550, 99.7, and iHeartRadio.
Welcome back to Dakota Mornings. I'm your host, Michael Bell, KFYR 550 AM, 99.7 FM. And gentlemen, we were talking about the importance of tuning in to Guns in the 701, 701 Nation.
Yeah.
And so why don't you give me a primer? Give me a 30-second primer on what are your podcasts about?
All right, all of our podcasts. Clay can jump in a little too, but we do live stream every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 7 Mountain. And sometimes I do a Thursday one, and every once in a while I do a Saturday one, which kind of worked out when I'm bored. I'm like, let's do one.
Sure.
But yeah, it's always about Second Amendment rights, gun, gear, hunting, shooting, anything that revolves around pretty much the gun world, the shooting world. And if there's something pertains to North Dakota, we like to talk about that because it is guns and the 701.
And we also touch on a lot of national stuff too, because even though it doesn't directly affect North Dakota, trust me, anything that's happening in D.C. can trickle down real easy. So we do cover a lot of that. And I'll tell you that Jamie usually he covers more of the gun stuff as far as new actions, new guns, new ammo, whatever it might be in gear. And I do focus a lot more on legislative and issues like that because that's kind of my wheelhouse. And so it works out good. It's a great balance as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I always tell Clay if something comes up, I'm like, Clay, why don't you take this one? You'll break it down way better than I do. So, and this Wednesday, I'll tell you one thing we are going to hit on is they do have some new 223 ammo coming out, 5.56, and higher velocities, more hitting power. So I'm interested in that because, as you know, Michael, that's God's cartridge.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Freedom Seeds, baby.
Yeah.
Freedom Seeds and Freedom Rock.
Yeah, so if you don't know about that and you enjoy that cartridge, I think the one now has plenty of power for stuff, but if you can reach out and make it hit a little harder, by all means.
Yep.
And I got to say this too, and thanks to Todd, because Todd's the one that brought us first here to 550, and we're still there every Friday morning, 7:15 Mountain, 8:15 Central with Mitchell in the morning. And I don't know, Jamie fills in once in a while and I can't, but we have a great time with him too. So we're very appreciative of having a home here on 550. There's no doubt about it.
And you, Michael, for having us on, and now extending our segment on here. Appreciate
that. Well,
and
I want to address that for a minute here. This is my pleasure. This is a segment that I look forward to every month. Not that I don't look forward to all my segments because I put them all together myself. Mm-hmm. But with you guys, I know that I don't need to over-prepare or under-prepare. I know that there's going to be a sweet spot there, and I appreciate it. And let's be honest, you guys have given street cred to Dakota Mornings with a sector and a segment of my listeners.
Thank you.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, and we're more than happy to do it.
Plus, absolutely. I love talking about guns. And I love talking about the Second Amendment.
It's hard not to like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Especially, I have, like I've said a number of times, one of my favorite on America's First Freedom. One of my favorite sections is the section where you have homeowners who put a round or two through burglars and how people use their Second Amendment rights to protect their family and themselves and their community.
It's great. And actually, we did change the name to that on the live stream, didn't we, Clayton? What we call it now, the Happy Ending Chronicles.
Yes, absolutely. And that was old Jamie. I can't take any credit. That was great. I thought, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a goal.
Okay. So I like that character.
And there's no shortage of those stories, Michael. I mean, they should be front.
I heard one this morning.
They should be front and center because people use firearms to defend themselves and their lives and their families. I mean, a multitude more than they're used to harm people or kill people.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, except once you get out of Southside Chicago, Los Angeles County, Houston, once you get outside of those areas where the criminals on criminals, once you get out of those areas, the responsibility and the responsible use of firearms is readily apparent.
Which that's a good lead into our next story here, isn't it?
I kind of figured it would be.
Yeah, because there was something happened there. Speaking of courts, Clay, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, what went on there?
Well, they went on brewing again, of course. Fifth Circuit, they actually struck down the federal laws that prohibit FFLs.
And FFLs, we need to, federal firearms licenses.
Correct. Yes, and they now... They do not have to prohibit selling handguns from 18 to 20-year-olds, which I always thought was ridiculous anyway. That should have never, ever got on the books to begin with. And I applaud the Fifth Circuit. I imagine that the other side's going to take this, again. I mean, it's not done just because that appellate court struck it down. But as of right now, they made a great decision. And they did base this on New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin. It all goes back to that, and that was such a stellar pivot in Second Amendment protection, saying that, hey, there is no historical precedent to ban 18 to 20-year-olds. In fact, there's more of a precedent that says that they can have them because they were actually required to bring their own firearms in that era to actually serve in the militias. So when you think about it, it has more standing than anything. And I think this is a very, very strong case that the appellate court took up. And
the opinion, I read the opinion. The opinion is as airtight as it comes. It's as intellectually based as you would expect from a court of appeals. It's not based on feelings. It's not based on emotion. And the forward thinking aspect of this stare decisis, for example, I could see this becoming a pivot point for years to come.
Oh, absolutely. I found it interesting in that court ruling. The article said the same thing here, but that the court actually did reference articles that were printed in things like ILA litigation conflict. I mean, think about that. They actually cited stuff coming from the National Rifle Association, along with other places, and that they put in there that they concluded that the right to keep and bear arms surely implies the right to purchase them. Then they went on and said, the court determines that 18 to 20-year-olds are among the people, which they are,
that are
covered, protected by the amendment. So to me, it doesn't get any clearer than that, as we've been saying that the 27 words of the Second Amendment are very clear. And as our great governor, who's Armstrong, says, the commas matter in there. So
that's exactly right.
They do matter. It's not just a run-on sentence. So I think this was a great decision. I think it's going to be another one of those precedent-setting decisions that's just going to build on the protection of Second Amendment. And that has got to be just tweaking the other side, because they've had a long time of litigation over decades that chipped away, and now we're finally putting them chips back in and building a wall that's strong to stand on as far as the Second Amendment goes. I couldn't be happier, and I'm glad to see it going this way.
Yeah, and you and I and JD have had this conversation about it's time for people like you, like for people like JD. It's time for you to make your opinions well known, because you have a conscious listening group of folks, both in Washington and throughout the country. You have people who are listening to your opinions, who value your opinions.
Well, and I've noticed, too, I go through and look at the testimonies that are being said. There isn't a lot of things going on right now this session, but there's some bills out there. But I see the names and testimony either submitted, in writing, possibly they showed up. And it's funny because I know they're listening to the show because we see them pop up when they're when we're on our live stream. So it's great to see them getting engaged. And I'm glad that people are finally saying, you know what, we, the people, do matter. We're going to get in there, and we're going to have a voice, and that's great to see.
It is great to see. I love every part of that. I love people getting involved, from their legislature, from to the school board, to county commission, to city commissions, to city councils. I love all of that because, and that's one of the reasons why I'm opposed to, and I understand where they're coming from, but the legislation to restrict or to compel, local subdivisions to keep their meetings open for comment. I think that's necessary. I think it's required. I mean, you can put time limits on, you can put number of hours to it or what have you, but you cannot restrict people from talking at their local city commission meeting, at their local school board meeting. That is antithetical to representing your constituents.
Well, it's foundational.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely a foundation of the founding of this country that we have the voice, and I think it's important to remind everybody, be cordial. Don't get in there and yell. That doesn't do anything. It really doesn't. But be cordial, but also be very stern, because you are defending your rights on the most part. I mean, that is your right. Your right to assemble, your right to a petition. It's all outlined in the First Amendment. But yeah, time limits, but don't make them crazy. Like, I've seen some of these commissions and county boards, things like that. We're going to give you 1 minute to speak. Yeah, well, that ain't enough.
Right. Well, and quite frankly, I hate to be a hard nose about this, but this is why you put your name on a ballot. I mean, if you can't handle a 5-hour city council meeting, every other month, then don't run. Let somebody else run who is willing to do that. And I understand that these are part-time positions. I get that. Yeah. But quite frankly, this is how you hear from your constituents, other than, election time when everybody's, out meeting the voters and all that kind of stuff. This is how you hear from it, because you're meeting them where they are.
And as you know, as much as I probably do on this, is that you got North and South Dakota both here, which is where I've done most of anything as far as involved in that. These are the two states that probably have one of the most accessible ways to talk to your legislators.
Amen.
While they're in session. I mean, you can go up to the Capitol, you can get into those committee meetings, and they stay there till you're done talking. They truly do.
And we've talked about that a lot on this show, as you guys are all too aware about the importance of making your opinion heard and talking about what is important to you.
Yes.
So, Clay, I got one question here on this Fifth Circuit appeals ruling. So you said that they've classified him as part of the people. So finally, instead of the people in the Second Amendment, meaning of what the left always wanted to be just the military, it's now just like the First and Fourth Amendment, the people is the people?
They clarified that.
Thanks
I bet you they did that not even knowing they did that.
And they stay away involving the Third Amendment, which, nobody ever talks about that.
I always like the people, only the Second Amendment didn't actually mean the people today.
That just messed with those pesky militias.
Right, those local yokels. Those ragtag band of folks.
Yeah, a bunch of guys guys and gals that go out and do shooting contests on mule deer silhouettes.
Right. God bless North Dakota. God bless North Dakota.
It is good. It was good. So yeah, I didn't.
Okay. So I want to ask your guys' opinion on a somewhat weighty topic, but it's something very important, I know, to both of you, and that is the pause put on foreign aid by President Trump through executive order, and what just recently happened last night at USAID. I'd like to get your take on that.
I'm in.
I love it. I'll tell you what, something's got to start somewhere. I know some people are flipping out. I'm sure it's not done, but he had to do it just to get a hold and stop the hemorrhaging. Does that make sense?
It does, absolutely.
Because that's what was happening. I mean, even after he did it, and if people aren't familiar, it's the United States Agency for International Development. I know that guys like us, we kind of pay attention. We know what that is, and they do some good things. But this is money that's flowing out of our country, your money, my money, anybody paying an income tax or any kind of tax into the United States. This is your money into the general accounting. I'm telling you, it needed to stop so that they could take an evaluation and see, okay, where do we completely stop? It's done. And what do we keep funding? Because right now it's just been a wild west open for anybody. And it has to stop, just plain and simple.
Amen. We need to go to a commercial break. This is Dakota Mornings. I am your host, Michael Bell, KFYR 550 AM, 99.7 FM. We are joined by J.D. Breck, Clay Peterson, Guns in the 701, 701 Nation, and we're going to talk a little bit more about USAID.
For live radio to have lyrics, that's amazing.
You guys outdid yourselves.
Join the millions already on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Can I give it 6 stars?
Find your new favorite feature on the iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Gonna eat healthier this year? Sure, if you had a chef and 3 extra hours a day, right? Well, here's an idea. I'm Carl Deichler, CEO of Body. That's Body with an I. There's a healthy chocolate shake that makes it deliciously easy to hit your goals. Packed with protein, probiotics for your gut, vital nutrients, immune-boosting adaptogens and superfoods. And it's called Shakeology. And it's the quickest, easiest way to eat healthier if you got no time and meal prep feels like climbing Everest. Right now, buy 1 month of healthy shakes and get another for 50% off. We've made it simple for you to get the nutrition you need. No chopping, no cooking, no hassle. Just shake, sip, and go. Plus, with flavors like chocolate, vanilla, cafe latte, it's a treat you'll actually look forward to every day. Shakeology is nutrition made simple. Head to Shakeology.com for more details and start 2025 strong. That's Shakeology.com.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next 2 combined. So whatever your customers listen to, they'll hear your message. Plus, only iHeart can extend your message to audiences across broadcast radio. Think podcasting can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, radio, and podcasting. Let us show you at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Giving back has always been our culture at Maury's Minnetonka Subaru. During the Subaru Loves to Help initiative, join us in partnering with Bridge of Youth to provide coats to those experiencing homelessness. At Maury's Minnetonka Subaru, our hope is that these essential items ensure not only warmth and comfort to those in urgent need, but will also make a meaningful difference in their mental and emotional well-being. Maury's Minnetonka Subaru, more than a car dealer. Go to MinnetonkaSubaru.com to learn more.
At Mariner, behind every advisor is access to a team of advisors designed to provide solutions for complex wealth challenges. So advisors have a go-to person for tax support, another person whose whole world is insurance, and someone else focused entirely on estate planning. All from Mariner, and all working together so advisors have access to everything they need to be everything their clients need. Learn more about partnering with us at joinmariner.com. Wealth on your level.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Let's be real. Pee happens. Pee happens in the car. Pee happens at the gym. Pee happens in the middle of the night. But you're not alone. And now you can take control with In Control by Eucora. In Control is a clinically tested herbal supplement that helps to reduce urinary frequency and the occasional accidents or leaks associated with normal aging. In an 8-week clinical trial, 90% of people saw an improvement of daytime frequency symptoms, with nearly half as many nighttime bathroom visits reported. If pee is disrupting your days and nights, it's time for 24-hour bladder support with In Control by Eucora. Don't let your bladder call the shots. Take charge with In Control by Eucora. And now get up to 25% off In Control when you go to eucora.com/control. That's eucora.com/control for up to 25% off. UQORA.com/control.
Fearlessly. Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell is sponsored by Lignite Energy Council, fueling the future, powering progress. Back to Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell on KFYR 550, 99.7, and iHeartRadio.
Welcome back to Dakota Mornings. I'm your host, Michael Bell, KFYR 550 AM, 99.7 FM. Given the fact that that JD is doing air drums here in studio, Dan the man has stuck the landing once again.
I like it. Dan's got some good music here. I enjoy that.
Dan is the most unique musical talent I have ever encountered. The broad scope. I mean, the guy was playing polkas for Senator Kramer, not too long ago. and he's got speed medals, what we used to call it here, going on. It's impressive. The range is impressive. But so we were. Where were we? I can't. We've had
about
USAID. Yes.
Yeah.
I appreciate this because this is the federal government taking accountability and responsibility. The Trump administration will take responsibility for bad loans, bad grants that were made. This compares to in 2000. I'm going to say 2009, 2010 ish. The Department of Education took over student loans, student lending. They took it over, and they had a $1 billion hole in their budget. The $1 billion they could not find, and they papered over it and moved on. This is not going to happen with USAID.
It's not, and if you think about what's all happened, I mean, we had Voorhees, John Voorhees, if you don't know, he's the director, I'm sure you know, but he's director of security, his deputy, Brian McGill, they essentially had to be escorted out of the building. Now, that's crazy. You know, President Trump, whether they like him or not, he's the president.
Right.
And he put out a statement and put it in writing and made it official, executive order, I believe, that froze all of it right now. But what did they do Friday? Another $6 million was headed out the door.
Billion.
After they were told no. Well, billion. And, I mean, they've already got, around 10,000 employees, if I remember right. 1,000 have been furloughed, I guess, right now because of the free on foreign aid. But I was kind of looking up what we're talking about in the break here. Alone that I watched this national debt climb over, you'll love this, $2 million while we were on break. So that gives you an idea. We're almost $37 trillion in debt. So think about that, everybody. But I just found a few things here. $47,000, I went on their budget, for transgender opera in Colombia. $32,000 for transgender comic books in Peru. $15 million, we heard about these. Million for condoms in the Taliban.
If that's a priority,
$50 million in Gaza for condoms.
Yeah.
Are we
and
really?
if that's a priority for those countries, for Colombia, for example, for the PLO or they're not around anymore. Yeah. But anyway, if it's a priority for them, let them spend their own money doing it. We don't need to be doing it.
Right.
This is not a belts and roads initiative like that we're combating out of China. This is taxpayer dollars which is being squandered, and it's one large giveaway. And most importantly, I don't know why anybody is surprised that President Trump is doing this. He campaigned on it. He campaigned on it for a year. He said he was going to do it, and now he's doing it.
Now he's doing it. Absolutely.
It was needed. Somebody's got to. Adults got to take control. I mean, it's just like if you work somewhere, you were a kid, and somebody comes in and gets some authority down. You don't like it, but it has to be done, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't like doing some disciplining my kids sometimes, but it's got to be done. Otherwise,
that's right.
Stuff gets out of control.
Okay. JD Breck, Clay Peterson, thank you so much for taking the time. This has been a blast. And I tell you what, next month we're going to do another 90 minutes. When we pick out a date for March, we'll do another 90 minutes.
First Monday in March. How's that?
Yeah, first Monday in March. I need to make sure that I'm not otherwise committed.
All right.
But yes, you guys are my priority.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. We'll see you next month or before that.
I'm sure before. This is Dakota Mornings. I'm your host, Michael Bell, KFYR 558.
Attention